Well, hi guys, it's Kirk again, and I just got off of work and came downtown. Decided I'd walk around the square. I don't know if all of y'all have ever been to Bainbridge, Georgia, but in the last 10 years or so, they've really done a lot of stuff to improve everything downtown on the square. When I first moved here in the 90s, there wasn't a whole lot on the square. The buildings were old looking and there really wasn't a whole lot. Well, over the last 10 years, the last 5 years especially, they have really improved what's down here. So I figured, you know, in the interest of tourism and something you might want to do if you live in South Georgia, close enough to drive down to Bainbridge one weekend, one Saturday or whatever, show you a little bit of what's on the square in downtown Bainbridge. So we're going to start over on the corner over here and talk a little bit about what's going on, and I'll walk around and kind of tell you about it. On the corner, the bottom story is Sios. Sios is a gather, sip, and shop and eat kind of place. They have Italian food and snacks and bingo on Wednesday night, and the pots sometimes get pretty big. Got a full stock bar, and a lot of people come and just sit and talk. They got this fireplace out front. Up above them is the Willis Park Hotel. It's a bed and breakfast with a brunch restaurant. So, pretty good place to stay. I mean, it's interesting. It's pretty. I mean, the inside of it is absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got more stuff over here. Let's walk this way. And we'll walk away around the square. Next to the Willis Park is the Decatur County Museum, where they've got all kinds of stuff about the Bainbridge area. And we got an antique shop and a real estate place. Gotta have those. There's also a place up here called Special Occasions, and then there's a place called Tangles, which is a hair shop on the square. And we've got Bainbridge Engraving down here next to Special Occasions. They need your tuxedo, they got your tuxedo over there. And then Bainbridge Engraving. And on the corner is the Bean Cafe. The Bean and Berry, and they carry fresh roasted coffee, sandwiches, soups, muffins, whatever. It's just a coffee shop, and they do a lot of business for people, you know, coming in and hanging out and bringing their laptops and doing their work. Now, above this is the Bon Air. This used to be the old hotel from years ago when this was sort of a barge and railroad town. This was one of the big hotels. Well, they have converted this into apartments. So you end up, the Willis Park Hotel stops, and the Bon Air is the 2 stories the rest of the way for the whole block. All right, here's our courthouse. Very big, huge courthouse. Historic. Now over here, on this side of the street, we've got Millie's Mercantile, and next to it is something that's really interesting. We have a local artist by the name of Ashley Long, and Ashley paints and does things for people, takes requests, and he actually has a degree in illustration, medical illustration from the University of Georgia. So you can see he's doing all kinds of paintings and other things like that. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. He's actually a really nice guy too, and he's one of the only people I know of that has actually walked the entire Appalachian Trail from start to finish. So he went to North Georgia and walked all the way to Maine. Took him a while to do it too, but you know, interesting. All right, this is Sterling IT Solutions. Sterling is a friend of mine, being in IT. He and I talk about IT stuff all the time. He's a really nice guy. Next to that, we got Diablo's. It's your Mexican cantina. And then Regions Bank on the corner. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting and what I really like. I like restaurants. I like to eat. Shows the reason, you know, I mean, I'm a foodie. If you've been on my Instagram channel, go look me up. I got food everywhere. Got more food than pictures of my kids. All right, we've got an investment firm here on the corner, Edward E. Jones, and then we got Yeomans and Gardner, there's an empty shop over here. Let's walk over here and show you what's going on inside. Make sure I don't get run over. It's Rusty's home for wayward souls. He lives upstairs. Rusty's a good friend of mine. Love his posters. Got a True Lies poster and a Roy Rogers poster. Now this is Southern Philosophy Brewing Company. Award-winning brewing company here in Bainbridge, Georgia. They make handcrafted beer. Have to go inside and get you a shot so you can see the inside. They've really done the inside up. See? They got good beer. Got good food too. Got very good wood-fired pizzas and very good wings. Now next to that is the American. The American is a very good restaurant. And they carry all kinds of everything. Let's see what their feature is for today. What is your feature?
It's going to be the wood-fired grilled bone-in veal chop, and then also our pan-seared maple leaf farms duck breasts.
Yeah, I know Tyler quite well, and I'll tell you, he runs a good ship here. I mean, I tell you, they've got all kinds of really good food. I come in here to lunch. I eat with a men's group on Wednesdays, and we get together, and I always go and get a soup and a salad. Next to this is Reeves Linens. Reeves has been in business here on the square for ages. I mean, I've been living here for 30 years. And Reeves Linens and Gifts has got all kinds of gifts and things. Stick my head in the door so you can take a look. As you can see, they got all kinds of good stuff. Now on down the street, I'm not going to walk down there, but on down the street, about halfway down this block, or two-thirds of the way down this block, right in front of where that car is, there is a place called Isaac's Bakery. Isaac's Bakery has sandwiches and soups and cakes, and they make really good, those little bitty, small, thin, fried ginger snap cookies. I love those things. So we're going to cross the street and try not to get run over again. They're really, all these old buildings, that was when I first moved here, was a fashion shop, wig shop, whatever. Now it's a architectural firm with a retail spot next to it. And this used to be the old Ritz the Ritz Theater building. This is where the movie theater was forever in this town. And it turned into LTL Gifts and Flowers, and they've since moved. But they're renovating it and going to turn it into, I don't know what they're going to turn it into, but they're renovating it. And next to that is Rivers and Bridge, which I actually know the lady who owns that, her and her partner. I work with her dad. But they carry a complete line of clothing. And then we got South Apparel next down here, which is another clothing place. And then next to that, 229 Gifts and a curl-up salon where the Great Wall used to be on the corner. That has recently been sold, and they're planning to put another restaurant in there. On the corner, we got J. Christine's Esotique, which is a place to get, yourself all fixed up. And on down, there's Farmer's Wife and Scoops, which is an ice cream. It's an old-fashioned style ice cream and candy store. So this, they have really, really done a lot. Because almost all of these businesses that are on the square are less than 10 years old. Most of them are less than 5 years old. So there's more stuff on down on Water Street. There's a seafood sandwich place, and I haven't heard a whole lot about it, but I was told that they're fixing to build a steakhouse down there. They've got a whole area boarded up. Hall Construction's working on it. And they said that they're going to put a steakhouse down there. I forgot to mention, on down this way, there's the Elysian Tea Room Emporium. So it's a tea room. You want your boba tea, you want your herbal tea, and next door to that's a veterinarian's place. On down the street, I'm going to walk down here. Something really interesting is a place called the Hook and Ladder. The Hook and Ladder used to be just a burned out, or not burned out, but just dilapidated building. It's originally where one of the fire company used to be. And they have come in and renovated it. And they have all kinds of concerts and things here. So it's really cool because they'll have various, just like the other night they had an 80s night. They had a band called Electric Avenue out of Atlanta. and they were absolutely on point. I mean, they're doing Devo, they're doing Rick Springfield, they're doing, you know, Flock of Seagulls, they're doing, you name 80s music, and they were doing it. But it's cool. They left the metal frame of the building, or the outside frame of the building, and they put a metal superstructure in it. And look at that. I mean, this is just, it's pretty cool. They've got this where they can come in and they'll set up stage, and it's free to use for parties and get-togethers. You just tell the city you want to use it and they'll reserve it for you. And then next door they built a playground. So you got a playground out here. I mean, and they're tearing down a lot of these old buildings and fixing stuff up. There's an architectural firm here on the other side that will be designed. So, you know, I mean, I've been really impressed with what the Downtown Development Authority has been doing, because they're making, especially like they've done in Thomasville, much like they've done in several other cities. They had all these old buildings downstairs that had a lot of, you know, prestige or essence, you know, they had a lot of interesting air to them. And they said, you know, we either have to tear them down or fix them up. So, in the case of what Bainbridge did, they've gutted a lot of buildings, you know, and redone them. It's like this building here, the one with the J. Christine Essertique. They did the place, and then upstairs they put apartments. And over there downtown, there's apartments over a couple of those buildings. So, you know, I mean, they're not wasting anything. They're using it, and they're making it livable and fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of a kind of stroll around downtown Bainbridge, and maybe I've not been too boring, but we'll see. Make comments, like, follow my YouTube channel, follow my Instagram channel. We'll talk to you later. Bye.